Soon you will witness things about hypnosis that you may have never seen before. But first, let's go back to the beginning. After the Middle Ages, the world started to become a different place and humanity began to develop in many ways. Parakitashin. After the 18th century, especially scientific developments were almost like magic. But the world of medicine seemed to be stuck in the past. Painful treatments, ineffective methods, and outdated healing techniques were like a nightmare for people. People were almost more afraid of being sick than of dying. But something was offering hope. More precisely, a doctor, Anton Mesmer. He claimed to have discovered the method of magnetic healing. Moreover, he was doing this using only his hands. Maybe he had discovered something that allowed him to find the key point in human anatomy. His fame spread so much that even the Queen of France was among those he treated. Or maybe everyone just thought he was treating them. Franz Anton Mesmer graduated from the medical faculty of the University of Vienna. At first, he was very interested in forces that have existed since the formation of the universe, like gravity. He noted his observations on magnetism, which greatly impressed him. As he continued his research, he began to think that this was an invisible and mysterious force that affected people, the existence of certain vibrations and flows emitted by living beings. Based on the information he gathered, he published scientific articles. Mesmer made his patients swallow iron stones, which he thought could guide them through the process. He tracked their distribution using magnets, believing that the magnetic treatments he performed with his hands were successful. He presented this to the French Academy of Sciences and the Royal Medical Society for approval, but he was rejected multiple times. These rejections made him more determined. Mesmer was now addressing the people of Paris directly, establishing one-on-one relationships. Many people had started coming to him because of their ailments, so much so that, hard as it is to believe, in the 1780s, 3,000 people a day were lining up to receive treatment from him. He was constantly improving his treatment methods. He started gathering people in a room and treating them in front of everyone. Meanwhile, he thought that playing soft music in the background would make people even more relaxed. During the treated sessions, there were even people who screamed and lost themselves. These sessions had now taken on a whole new dimension. It was as if people were coming not for treatment, but for satisfaction. It was as if they were addicted. They were like prisoners under hypnosis. Things had reached an unmanageable level. Mesmer's group sessions had become quite popular in Paris at that time, so much so that he would later be portrayed by Alan Rickman, whom you would also recognize from Harry Potter. In those years, Mesmer was seen much like some of today's so-called spiritual healers. At that time, Franklin, who was France's ambassador and also a scientist, formed a team to investigate Mesmer. Yes, that's Benjamin Franklin, the one on the dollar bill. As a result of the commission's investigations, Anton Mesmer was labeled a charlatan and expelled from the country. Their explanation was that his only effect on people was selling imagination. As a result, he was branded a fraud for all the work he had done. But was this true? Were all those people who received treatment actually nothing? Even though everything ended badly, this was just the beginning of the story. The beginning of the emergence of hypnosis. Hypnosis is a kind of artificial sleep or a state between sleep and wakefulness. As a result of the relaxation of the mind and body connection, people are guided just as if they were in a dream, and they respond accordingly. Think of it this way. When you're in a dream, sometimes you feel what you experience in your real body, and you even give physical reactions as if it were real. It's just like that. By the 1900s, there were people who used and even improved Mesmer's technique. One of them was Sigmund Freud. Freud called hypnosis the second mind. He was trying to access his patient's subconscious by relaxing them. It was at this point that he would talk to them. He believed that all psychological disorders were childhood traumas. According to him, all problems were somehow related to sexuality. But every person can experience problems not only in childhood, but also at any age due to the difficulties brought by time and the stage he experienced. could be the beginning. Freud was mocked and discredited by his colleagues after the lectures he gave, but some had learned a lot from him and from Mesmer. In those years, this technique was further developed in some way. Group sessions were held in front of people. Here, the selected people are those under hypnosis. With the suggestions given by the hypnotist, the subconscious is shaped. The brain focuses itself according to the suggestions given and makes people feel as if it is real. People under hypnosis think they are riding a bicycle right now and reflect their reactions outward. 1. For the other person, it is suggested that they are super strong and resilient. And as a result, tests are conducted on them to prove this.
A stiff iron girder, stiffer and stiffer, stiffer, stiffer and stiffer, no power.
Again, in the same session, they are suggested to be in a very cold environment. As the degree of cold is increased in the subconscious, it is observed that people feel colder. Of course, we can't prove how accurate these sessions are or whether they have people they've arranged themselves. But there is someone who wants to prove this. One person selected from a group of soldiers is hypnotized. After the hypnosis, he is given the directive that he no longer feels pain. As a result, the soldier is given a lighter and asked to demonstrate this. Of course, a normal person couldn't stand it. Actually, the scary thing here, the intended thing, was that the soldiers would somehow be away from pain. So much so that the idea of creating a group of soldiers deprived of pain even came to mind during wars. With the power of hypnosis, whether they actually used this at that time and afterwards, and whether it really worked, is unknown. But it's clear that this is a frightening scenario. One of the people today trying to prove the extraordinary power of hypnosis is Jan Becker. It was as if Becker was somehow playing with people's memories at that moment, or confusing their memories. Can you say your name, Bettina? This is just our power of suggestion.
I can't say that I forgot my name.
I just couldn't get it out of my lips.
It's actually like trying to find something in your memory that you knew before but don't remember. You know it, it's on the tip of your tongue, but you can't remember it. Most of you have experienced this. What happens here is also similar to this, just for a moment.
Baker temporarily erases the number 4 from Simi's memory.
He wants to. Our hand. Let's count the fingers on our hand. 1,
2, 3, 5, 6 here.
Let's count from the beginning.
1, 2, 3, 5, 6.
6 plus 6 is how much?
12.
In the same way, here again, a simple fact that this person knows seems as if it never existed. Here's the question that comes to my mind. Are these people forgetting what they know, or is the information that the fact never existed being suggested to their subconscious? So is this a memory confusion, or is it subconscious control? Actually, there are many different methods of being hypnotized. You will see this better on animals. An environment where a chicken, a snake, a pigeon, even a mouse and its victim are all in the same place. Normally, it would be impossible to keep these animals in the same place at the same time, but somehow they are under hypnosis and are inactive. A small movement is enough for them to wake up. In the 1900s, someone noticed that a chicken would focus on a straight line. This would render them inactive for a while. It was noticed that every living being could somehow be deprived of energy, even crocodiles. After contact with a trained person in this field, crocodiles appear to have their energy completely drained when they are turned upside down. You may have seen snake dances in countries like India. Is it the effect of the music or the snake's interest in what it is focusing on that captivates it like that? Well, this is not exactly known. But if there's one thing that's known, it's that they are somehow hypnotized. Many animals can become immobilized by many different methods. I don't know how accurate it is to call this hypnosis. Maybe it happens in another way, but it's a fact that their consciousness is under control. The brain has a rather complex structure. All our emotions, imagination, and skills are hidden inside this closed box. There must be a key to this box. Who knows, maybe someone has really found the key to this box.